The jungle exhaled its fetid breath at 200 hours on October 17, 1968, deep in the A Shao Valley, where the air hung thick as napalm residue, laced with the rot of unseen decay and the metallic tang of distant artillery. Sergeant First Class Jack Harlan crouched low behind a tangle of razor-sharp elephant grass, his M16 slick with dew, heart pounding like a tripwire timer. No warning flares lit the sky. No chopper blades chopped the humid night, just the relentless chorus of cicadas screaming betrayal. Then movement. Silhouettes slithered through the grass 50 meters out, ghosting parallel to his 12-man Green Beret team from Mach VSOG, Operational Detachment A-400. Harlan's spotter whispered, "VC, male 3, no, 4 tangos, bugging out east." Brute force instinct kicked in, closed the kill chain, overwhelmed with firepower. But as they crept forward, bayonets glinting faintly under starlight, the shapes resolved into something impossible. Slender forms, hips swaying with unnatural grace, hair tucked under conical hats or loose in the dark. Women, young, maybe 18, 20, clad in black pajamas or faded audayas, carrying AKs slung low like afterthought. They melted into the underbrush without a snapped twig, without a backward glance, leaving only the whisper of crushed ferns. How could women, frail shadows in a man's war, hunt the world's deadliest hunters? This wasn't the rice paddy firefights or tunnel rats with flamethrowers the Green Berets trained for. This was the unraveling of everything, a shadow war where the jungle itself was the enemy, and its deadliest operatives wore skirts. From the twisted vantage of the Viet Cong cadre watching from their concealed spider holes, these Green Berets were no longer apex predators, but bloated water buffaloes stumbling into the trap. Lieutenant Nguyen Thi Lan, 22, cadre political officer turned scout, peered through the slits of her camouflaged poncho, her pulse steady as monsoon. She'd studied their patterns for weeks, relayed via bamboo couriers from Province Party HQ, diaries smuggled out later confirming the intel. The Americans move like elephants in porcelain, predictable after dark patrols. Lan's team of 5 long-hair women, as MacV reports dubbed them, had shadowed A402 for 3 nights, using the Green Berets' own arrogance against them. Where the men of the 95B Battalion charged with RPGs and satchel charges, these women were the scalpel, silent, invisible, striking from the periphery. Harlan's team, fresh from Montagnard camps, expected Bodoi grunts, bearded killers reeking of Nuoc Mam and ganja. Not this. Lan signaled with a single cricket chirp, and her sisters vanished, drawing the berets deeper into the kill zone. Contrast that with the old war. French foreign legionnaires in 54 Dien Bien Phu, blasting hillsides with 105mm howitzers, bodies piled like cordwood, yet losing to bicycle porters sneaking supplies. Brute scale versus surgical whisper, U.S. Army after-action reports from 68, declassified in the 90s, paint the shift starkly. Conventional sweeps yielded 10.1 body counts, but female cadres evaded 80% contact, inflicting psychological attrition via ghost patrols. Harlan's medic, Doc Ramirez, froze mid-crawl, whispering into the radio. Contact, visual on females, disappeared, possible bait. Paranoia bloomed like Agent Orange blisters. Every rustle now screamed ambush. Sleep became a luxury rationed in 4-hour shifts. From Lan's foxhole, scribbled in her captured diary, later found by SOG Recon, "The beards fear our silence more than their bombs. They jump at shadows we become." The team pressed on, Harlan signaling halt at the tree line, where banyan roots clawed the earth like skeletal hands. Intelligence briefs back at FOB Ripcord had pegged the area crawling with pavan sappers, but nothing on this. Women as forward observers, relaying grid coordinates via Morse on buried wires, per CIA Phoenix program files. Harlan's point man, Specialist Ellis, a wiry kid from the Bronx who'd aced Recondo school, swept his Car 15 left-right, eyes bulging. "Sarge, they were right there, gone like smoke." The air thickened with the sour reek of fear sweat under boonie hats. No claymores popped, no RPD bursts chattered from the high ground, just absent. That was the genius. The Longhairs didn't fight, they haunted. Deeper intel from defector interrogations, archived in the Pentagon Papers, reveals the Viet Cong's playbook. Women infiltrate as water carriers, market sellers, eyes everywhere. Men kill, women own the night. Lan's cadre had trained in the Cu Chi tunnels, practicing ghost walking, feet flat, knees bent, mimicking wind through grass. They'd shadowed Harlan's patrol from the Ho Chi Minh Trail jump-off, noting their M60 gunner lagging with heat exhaustion, the radio man's clumsy stride snapping vines. Now, as the berets hunkered, Lan's whisper carried on the breeze to another chirp, pulling them toward the ravine where sappers waited with punji stakes and chai-com grenades. Harlan spat tobacco juice, mind racing. They'd dropped Montagnard scouts at dusk, trusted Brew Hill people with elephant ears for hearing, but even they missed this. Regroup, claymores out. The team formed a hasty perimeter, backs to a bomb crater filled with brackish slime. Ramirez popped a dexedrine, eyes darting. Ellis muttered a Hail Mary, fingering his St. Christopher medal. From Lan's view, they were unraveling. The big men, forged in jump school and MacVsog Hell Week, reduced to peering at fireflies like omens. She'd seen it before. Marines at Khe-Sanh, jumping at every phantom, sleep-deprived until they fragged their own. Then, a faint giggle, feminine, mocking, echoed from the darkness 50 yards out. Harlan's finger whitened on the trigger. Trap. They were the prey now, in a war where the hunters wore no uniforms, left no tracks, and vanished. The realization hit like a garrote. This wasn't patrol. It was pursuit. And as the first stars winked out under gathering clouds, the jungle closed in, whispering promises of dawn that might never come. Harlan's team coiled tighter in the bomb crate, the slime sucking at their boots like greedy mouths, while the giggle lingered in the air, a silken thread pulled taut by invisible hands. From her spider hole, Lieutenant Nguyen Thi Lan allowed herself a thin smile, her breath fogging the leaf camouflage over her face. These Americans, with their $1,000 rifles and satellite eyes, were unraveling faster than a silk stocking under peasant nails. She'd orchestrated this feint herself, one of her long hairs, little sister Min, 19 and bird-boned, emitting that taunt from a concealed thicket, her voice pitched to pierce the men's frayed nerves like a fishhook. Lan's cadre diary, captured months later in a Lang Vei raid and archived in MacVsog Annex files, detailed it coldly. Giggle at Odu 30, enemy cohesion fractures 40%. They fire blind, waste ammo, reveal positions. Through Lan's slit view, Harlan's perimeter looked like a porcupine gone mad. Muzzles sweeping shadows, whispers cracking like dry bamboo. The Green Berets embodied the old war's folly, overwhelming force, as if tonnage alone could crush ghosts. Recall the B-52 arc light strikes of 67, per Pentagon body count tallies, dumping 3 million tons of bombs yet failing to dent the Ho Chi Minh Trail, where women like Lan bicycled 200-pound rice loads single file through bomb craters. Brute thunder versus needle pricks. Now, Harlan barked into the Prick 20 radio, static hissing like serpents. Lang Vei Actual, this is A402, ghost contacts, female VC shadows, requesting Raven FAC. But the night swallowed his plea. No fast movers screamed overhead. Lan's team had cut the buried phone lines at dusk, per standard NVA sapper doctrine, outlined in captured 559th Transport Group manuals. Ellis, the Bronx Point man, edged forward on his belly, Car 15 probing the ferns, sweat carving rivers down his camo paint. Every blade of grass whispered treachery now. He imagined lithe forms slithering inches away, AK muzzles kissing his neck. Back at Recondo School, instructors drilled Own the Night with starlight scopes and dog team. Yet here, the dogs whimpered and bolted at patrol start, spooked by something primal. Doc Ramirez force-fed amphetamines to the M60 gunner, Big Mike Kowalski, whose hands shook like palm fronds in a squall. "Sarge, they're playing us," Mike growled, his Polish accent thick with Dexba. Harlan nodded grimly, eyes scanning the ravine drop-off 20 meters ahead, where Lan sappers crouched with Bangalore torpedoes primed for the morning exfil path. Lan's perspective sharpened the terror. These berets weren't soldiers. They were invaders, blind to the jungle's grammar. Her women moved as one organism, Min drawing fire, Scout Tam circling left flank like smoke, Sisters Hai and Lien mirroring right, all trained in the Iron Triangle's Three Sisters drill from 66 party directives. Declassified CIA village pacification reports from Quang Tri province confirm it. Female cadres, 15-25 years, comprise 30% of shadow reconnaissance, evasion rate 92% versus male units. Psychological multiplier, U.S. forces report 300% increase in phantom sightings post-contact. Lan scratched a tally on her thigh with a thorn. 3 nights, 12 feints, 0 beret kills yet. Patience was their blade. Let the jungle gnaw their minds first. A sudden crack, Ellis's boot on a vine, and Harlan's world imploded. "Contact rear," Ramirez yelled as muzzle flashes stitched the tree line behind them. Not the women, Pavin sappers, triggered early by the radio burst. Bullets whined like hornets, splintering banyan roots, one grazing Kowalski's bicep in a red furrow. The M60 roared to life, brass arcing into the muck. But the shadows, Land's shadows, had already shifted, her chirp guiding them upslope. Harlan lobbed an M26 frag into the dark, the blast blooming orange fury, yet no screams answered, just more absent. From her hole, Lan noted their enemy expends 200 rounds per shadow, ammo fatigue in 48 hours. Her diary predicted it perfectly, cross-referenced with Province HQ bamboo tallies. The team consolidated fire, Harlan dragging Ellis back, the kid's eyes wild as a cornered rat. Blood slicked Ramirez's hands as he slapped a compress on Kowalski. Morphine Surette popping like a champagne cork. They're everywhere, Sarge. Circling like sharks. Paranoia metastasized. Harlan glimpsed a conical hat bobbing 50 yards distant, gone in a blink. Was it real? Intel from Montagnard defectors at CCN Kontum warned of Mautois, night women, but briefers dismissed it as folklore. Now it clawed reality. Lan's cadre thrived on this. They'd posed as hooch girls by day, gleaning patrol routes from careless GIs buying Boom Boom, then owned the dark. Contrast the French at APBAC 63, per U.S. Army Green Book analysis. Armored columns shredded by hidden snipers, scale no shield against invisibility. Dawn clawed the horizon at 0500, gray light filtering through triple canopy, revealing boot prints too small, too deliberate, circling the crater like a noose. Harlan called LZ prep, popping green smoke, but as rotors thumped distant, a single Chi-Com grenade airbursted overhead, shrapnel peppering the team like jungle hail. No casualties, but Ramirez took pink-eye shards, cursing in Spanish. Land sappers withdrew, mission half done. Berets bloodied, psyches cracked. From her new vantage upslope, scribbling furiously, she wrote, "They extract shaken, return changed, fear seeds defeat." Harlan's chopper skimmed treetops inbound, but as it flared, another giggle floated up, closer, mocking, from the grass they'd vacated. The pilot yawed hard, minigun spooling, but the jungle yielded nothing. Harlan stared down, gut twisting. The women owned this valley, turning hunters into the hunted, one whisper at a time. And as the bird clawed skyward, the first rain lashed like accusation, washing away tracks, but not the... Back at Ripcord, after-action debriefs would log it as evasive contact, but Harlan knew the war had eyes, soft curves, and endless night. Back at FOB Ripcord, the chopper's skids kissed red clay at 5:30, rotors whipping rain into a stinging mist that mixed with Harlan's blood-streaked camo. The team stumbled out, Kowalski clutching his bandaged arm, eyes hollowed by Dex crash and phantom giggles echoing in his skull. Med Bay smells hit like a gut punch, iodine sharp, mingled with the sour rot of infected hooches, but no amount of sutures could stitch psyches. Harlan slumped into the debrief tent, fluorescent hum buzzing like angry hornets, while an intel officer from CCN Kontum scribbled furiously. "Female shadows, sappers triggered, no body count," Harlan rasped, voice gravel from chain-smoked luckies. "They're not fighting, they're farming us." The officer nodded, flipping through dog-eared MACV SOG folders. Confirms Phoenix program intercepts. Long hair units in a Shao, 20% of VC shadow ops by 68. Women evade better than men, kill ratio inverted. From Lieutenant Nguyen Thi Lan's hidden bivouac, 2 clicks east, tucked in a karst cave dripping with bat guano, the night's tally warmed her like rice wine. Her 5 sisters huddled around a smoldering dung fire, faces smudged black, sharing nuoc mam-dipped manioc root. Min, the giggler, flexed her bird-thin fingers, mimicking Ellis's wild eyes. The big one with the radio, shaking like a leaf in typhoon. Lan traced the cave wall with charcoal, updating her cadre log. Contact 17 Octi, enemy extracts minus cohesion. Ammo expended Este 500 RDs, psi effect, maximal. Captured later in a 69 sweep, per declassified 5th SFG reports, it read like prophecy. Beards now hunt ghosts, we become the jungle. Her women weren't warriors in the American sense. No chest thumping, no kill tallies carved on rifles. They were the war's breath, exhaling fear. Trained in Warzone D's political school, per Hanoi Party directives archived in the Rand Vietnam Archive, they'd mastered Nuoi, soft infiltration, posing as water buffalo herders by day, relaying grids via coconut shell Morse at night. Harlan paced the wire at ripcord, chain link rattling under his fists, staring into the valley where mist cloaked the ghost. Old war rules screamed for payback. Arc light the ravine, roll tanks from 101st Airborne, tally KIA by the hundred, but that was the Buffalo charge. B-52s saturating 500 acres per strike, per USAF tonnage logs, yet VC women slipped through like eels, rebuilding trails by dawn. Surgical now. Harlan requisitioned Nung mercenaries, dog teams from Quantum, even experimental starlight scope. We flip it, he told Ramirez over lukewarm sea rats, the medic's pink eye bandaged, voice muffled. Night patrol reverse, ambush their ambushers. Ellis, nursing bruises from the dragback, nodded fierce. But his Hail Marys came hourly now. St. Christopher clutched till knuckles whitened. From Land's Cave lens, peering through bamboo periscope, she clocked the buildup. Extra helos thumping in, green tracers testing miniguns at dusk. They adapt slow as water buffalo turning, her sisters chirping agreement. Deeper intel from Province HQ bamboo slips confirmed A402 psi-fractured, expect reckless counterpatrol. Contrast clanged like spent brass. French at Caubang 50 per French Army historicals, losing 6,000 to bicycle caravans ghosting supplies. Brute convoys shredded by whispers. Now Harlan's A402, elite of the elite, reduced to jumping at frog crow. By 2200 that night, October 18th, they slipped out inverted. Harlan's team baiting reverse, Nung's fanning flanks, dogs straining leashes. Jungle swallowed them whole, air thicker with phosphorus fear. Every leaf brigade suspect. Ellis led point, car 15 thirsty, whispering, "Come on, ladies, dance for me." But Lan had anticipated, her cadre diary prophetic. Enemy mirrors patrol, cut at knees. Her women split, Min and Tam low-crawling parallel, high planting pungies laced with scorpion venom on exfil trails, Lien chirping false trails upslope. They'd studied Harlan's playbook from captured Recondo manuals, airdropped in 67 PSYOPS leaflets mocking elephant soldiers. The trap sprung at 23:45, moonsliver slicing canopy. Harlan's boot nudged a tripwire, thunk. Chi-com popped skyward, illumination flare hissing white hell over the draw. Shadows bloomed, not sappers, but Land's scalpel. Min's AK coughing singles 7.62s, pinking Ramirez's ruck. Tam's satchel charge whooshing short, scorching Ellis's boot. No horde assault. Precision stings, gone before M60 warned. Harlan's world tunneled. Flank left, dogs forward. Hounds bayed frantic, bolting into brambles, spines broken by concealed snares. Nungs fired blind, AK replies zipping back like vengeful wasps, one dropping a tracker with thigh hit, blood black as Nuok Mam. From Lan's vantage in a bomb crater lip concealed under spider silk, she savored the unravel. Muzzle flashes betray, positions logged. Her chirps orchestrated chaos, drawing fire inward while sisters circled, planting ghost stakes. Bamboo spears tipped with feces, silent reapers for dawn stumbles. Panic fractalized. Kowalski's M60 jammed on wet brass, curses Polish thick. Ellis charged a giggle, real this time, emptying mag into Fern's recoil bruising shoulder. Harlan popped Willie Pete, smoke choking the kill zone, but Lan's women ghosted perpendicular, Min's laugh trailing like perfume. Radio crackled. Ripcord, exfil hot, sappers inbound. False flag, per her diary. Bait with sapper noise, they burn fuel fleeing. Declassified SOGRs from 68, Taliet. Female ghost patrols induce 70% ammo waste, 50% sleep loss. Units rotate 2x rate. Harlan consolidated on high ground, claymores daisy-chained, but dawn revealed the toll. 2 Nungs KIA, dogs gutted, boot prints, small, mocking, circling like hyenas. Ramirez triaged under poncho, morphine flowing, whispering, "They're in our heads, Sarge. War's female now." Lan withdrew to cave by first light, sisters unscathed, tally notched, 2 enemy down, psyches eviscerated. "Patience thin steel," she wrote, cross-checked with HQ couriers. Harlan's chopper yanked them skyward again, valley mocking below, but the giggles lingered in Rota's wash. Ripcord brass demanded sweeps, but Harlan saw truth. These women didn't die. They multiplied in shadows, turning green beret steel to trembling bamboo. The war whispered its pivot, not bullets, but the fear they birthed, one soft step at a time. And as monsoon threatened anew, Lan's cadre melted toward Ho Chi Minh Trail jump-offs, eyes already on the next patrol, the jungle's endless daughters ready to hunt. Harlan's third night back in the Ashau churned like a fever dream. October 20th, 1968. The jungle's pulse sinking with his migraine from endless dexedrine cycles. Ripcord's wire perimeter felt like a joke now, a chain-link sieve against whispers. And as A402 saddled up for payback patrol, Harlan's grip whitened on his Car 15, eyes bloodshot under smeared camo. No more bait. This was hunter mode. Starlight scopes borrowed from Quantum CCN, Nung trackers doubled, Montagnard dogs triple vetted. We own the dark tonight, he growled to Ellis. The Bronx Kid's St. Christopher now worn to a nub from thumbing. But from Lieutenant Nguyen Thi Lan's elevated perch, a cast outcrop draped in liana veils 2 clicks south, Harlan's counter glowed predictable under her night-adapted gaze. Her cadre diary, seized in a 69 ARVN sweep and dissected in 5th SFG PSYOPS annexes, nailed it. 20 OXT, enemy deploys lights, dogs, standard after fracture, cut flanks first, 2200 window. Lands 5 long hairs fanned like mist. Min the giggler low-crawling elephant grass with belly to Tam etching false boot prints looping east, Montagnard-sized, laced with crushed mint to fool hounds. Hai and Lien shadowed high ground. Punji pits disguised as ant trails. Scorpion nests stirred to frenzy. Lan herself ghosted parallel. Bamboo flute ready for bird calls mimicking local doves. They'd anticipated this pivot per province HQ bamboo, cross-referenced with captured SOG patrol logs, airdropped in Psy leaflet. Beards chase ghosts. Ghosts chase beards. No thunderous assaults like Pavian sappers at Langvei 68, per Mac VARs logging 300 US KIA to 0 VC bodies, blunt hammers. Land's method, acupuncture, pricking nerves till paralysis. Harlan's team sliced downslope at 2130, starlight scopes painting the world milky green, dogs snuffling frantic ahead. Ellis swept point, heart jackhammering at every rustle, Ramirez trailing with morphine kits bloated for the inevitable. Kowalski humped the M60 reloaded triple time, bicep scar itching like prophecy. From Land's vine perch, they lumbered like water buffalo in headlights, scopes betraying positions with faint whines, dogs barking false trails into venom pit. One hound yelped, paw swelling purple. Nung handler slit its throat mercifully, blood steaming black. Phantoms again, Ellis hissed. Harlan signaling Claymore perimeter in a dry creek bed. Air thick with guano and distant B-52 rumbles. Old War Contrast screamed, Operation Cedar Falls, 67. Per Rand Corporation studies, 30,000 troops bulldozing Iron Triangle, body counts inflated 5-on-1, yet female couriers bicycled ammo undetected, rebuilding overnight. Tonnage versus tendrils. Land's chirp, Dovku, rippled at 2235, drawing Ellis upslope. He crept, scope hungry, glimpsing a conical non-la bobbing, then vanishing into root tangle. Contact female shadow, 50 meters. Radio crackled low power, but Lan's scout Min had burrowed inches away, ear to ground, logging the burst. Frequency, grid, per Cucci tunnel. Morse protocols archived in CIA Phoenix files. Harlan froze mid-crawl, paranoia spiking like Agent Orange rash, every giggle now a siren in his skull. Ramirez whispered, Sarge, they're hurting us. Ravines Punji City. From her perch, Lan savored the fracture. Harlan's shoulders hunched, one steel spine bowing. Ellis fingering crucifix like lifeline. Kowalski's trigger finger twitching phantom pulls. Her diary etched it live. Scopes blind to grass level. Dogs die first. Enemy cohesion 60% eroded. Trap teeth sank at 2250. Min's pebbles skipped the creek. Plink dogs exploded in frenzy, charging tamarind thicket. Claymores thumped safe arcs, but Lan's sisters struck surgical. Tam's Chicom grenade arcing perfect. Airburst peppering Nung flank with shrapnel confetti. 2 down screaming in Hamong. Hai's AK single shot winged a dog handler's calf. Bullets sighing through meat like sigh. No horde. Stings from ether. Harlan's M60 bellowed. Brass fountain in creek mud. Tracer streams lashing shadows. Empty. Ellis charged, giggling source, mag dumping into ferns, recoil numbing arms. But Lan's lean had voiced it from a termite mound, fled perpendicular like wind. Flankers, Harlan roared, popping red chem light, but starlight washed out in flare glare. Night vision ruined 20 minutes per Army fieldman. Panic cascade. Kowalski's barrel cooked cherry red, water-cooled frantic from canteen. Ramirez slapped Sirettes, eyes darting for skirts in the... Nungs fired upslope blind. Muzzle flashes beacons. Lan's tally notched 3 positions. From her airy, scribbling by firefly glow, Lan noted the beauty. 200 RDs expended per feint. fatigue exponential. Declassified Pentagon papers excerpts from Quang Tri intercepts confirm VC female units induce 400% night fire waste versus male contacts, U.S. resupply triples. Harlan consolidated creekbed, Claymore's reset, but Dawn's gray tees at 0400 revealed the noose. Small footprints encircling, dung-smeared punjis claiming a dog's corpse, boot print pressed deliberate beside, mocking Harlan's own tread. Radio lifeline hissed. A402, ripcord, exfil Zulu, Cobras inbound. But Lan's preemptive, sappers, real this time, crackled RPD from Ridge, 12.7mm tracers arcing like fireflies drunk on hate. Miniguns answered from Hilo Escort, jungle shredding. But Lan's cadre had ghosted downslope pre-flare. Min's final giggle floating up as skids lifted. Harlan gripped door gun, valley blurring below, gut knotted. These women didn't bleed. They infected. Ripcord medics triaged under tents whipping in rotowash. Nung Thai evacs. Dog handler airlifted. Psyches splintered. Debrief officer quoted defector tapes. Long hairs own a Shao nights. Men follow by day. Lan's cave reconvened by false dawn. Sisters trading manioc, unscratched. 3 wounds, 0 losses. Lan tallied, charcoal fresh. Enemy adapts to ghosts, become fog. Hanoi directives from 68, per captured 308th Division orders, preached it. Women as war's eyes, see without seeing. Harlan paced ripcord CP, brass demanding sweeps, but truth gnawed. Brute force birthed them. His team's thunder announced them, while skirts slithered silent. Ellis confessed over sea rats, voice cracked. They're not human, Sarge. Jungle's got tits now. Kowalski nodded, scar throbbing. Morphine dreams haunted by conical hats dancing. Yet Lan's web tightened. Bamboo courier inbound with fresh grids. A402's next big push, 101st armor rolling. Her diary closed the night prophetic. Fear forges chains heavier than bombs. They hunt, we harvest. As Harlan plotted reversal, plotting starlight ambushes of his own, the jungle exhaled patient venom, daughters of the dark coiling for the kill. Steel bent not to fire, but to the shadow that birthed it, and in Ashao's heart, the hunters trembled, one whisper from breaking. October 22, 1968, the Ashao Valley boiled under a bruised sky. Harlan's A402 fused into a vengeance machine. 20 strong now, swollen with 101st Airborne grunts on. Starlight scopes triple-mounted, pink teams of Cobras orbiting on 5-minute racetracks. Montagnard Brou sniffing trails like bloodhounds reborn. Harlan's jaw clenched vice-tight around his cigar stub, eyes hollowed by 4 nights of catnap hell, plotting the reversal from Ripcord Sandbag, CP. Flood the ravine at 2300, Starlight's own high ground, Nung's bait low, clip their skirts clean. Intel officer nodded, slapping fresh overlays. Defector tapes pin longhairs at karst caves. Phoenix assets confirm 5 females. Lieutenant Lan lead. But from Lieutenant Nguyen Thi Lan's fog-shrouded eyrie, a sheer limestone fang overlooking the valley floor, Harlan's thunderhead buildup reeked of desperation. Her cadre diary's final entry, captured in the November 68 sweeps and buried in 5th SFG black files, dissecting it with surgical scorn. 22. Okti. Enemy swells ranks. Lights, skies. Panics roar. We become rain. Lan's long hairs dissolved into the ether pre-dusk. Min scattering dove feathers to mimic flight paths. Tam etching boot mazes laced with caltrops mimicking blueprints. Hai and Lien ferrying chicoms via vine ziplines to sapper nests downslope. No bellowing charges like Tet 68 Hugh meat grinder. Per MACV casualty ledgers logging 10,000 ARVN dead to VC ghosts slipping alleys. This was Silk Noose. Patience, per Hanoi's 67 Central Office directives archived in the Vietnam Center's cadre manual, where women comprised 40% of trail eyes, evasion gods at 95%. Harlan's floodgates cracked at 23:15, Huey's thumping low, doorguns spooling hungry, green chem lights marking LZ's a ravine bowl. Starlights painted emerald ghosts through triple canopy, dogs baying triumph, Nungs fanning like fan blade. Ellis led the spear, Car 15 barking at shadows, heart armored in payback steel. Gotcha now, bitches. From Lan's fang perch, bamboo periscope fogged by breath, the invasion unfolded like scripted farce, muzzle whines betraying flanks, rotor wash flattening grass to reveal nothing. Her chirp dove cooed at 23:25, pulling Ellis's point squad into ant trail pungies. Two grunts impaled ankle-deep, screams muffled by rags, scorpion venom pulsing fire. Harlan's roar crackled FM. Flankers left. "Cobra's hot!" Pink team rockets kissed ridges, napalm fingers clawing karst. But Lan's cadre had ghosted perpendicular pre-flare. Min's giggle piping from a root hollow 50 yards coreward, drawing M60 streams that chewed empty banyan. Kowalski's barrel glowed hellfire, water boiling from frantic sea rations, but shadows stung back. Tam's satchel whooshed short, shredding a Nung's ruck. Lien's AK sighing singles into dogpacks, spines snapping like bamboo clappers. Declassified USF sortie logs from that night tally 200 rockets, 5,000 lbs ordnance, brute avalanche, yet zero long-hair hits, per post-strike recon photos showing unscratched ferns. Panic's fractal peaked at 2340, Harlan's starlights washing blind in cobra flares, valley lit like noonday hell. Ellis charged the giggle source, mag cycling fury, glimpsing a non-law whipping away, real silhouette, hips swaying taunt, before root-tripping into feces-tipped stakes, femur cracking wet. Ramirez dove prone, Sirettes flying amid screams. "Man down! They're in the wire!" Nungs wheeled, AKs chattering wild. But Lan's sappers, triggered flawless, RPD stitching from caves, 12.7mm tracers lacing helos low. One Cobra yawed smoking, pilot auto-rotating to crash hard click-out. Harlan popped Willie Pete Vales, consolidating crater rim, Claymore's daisy chain triple thick, but from her airy, Lan tallied the symphony. Flashes log 15 positions, ammo burn 1,000 RDSs hour, cohesion vapor. Her diary prophesied the cull. Dogs gutted first, scopes second, men devouring tails. Dawn hemorrhaged red at 0430. Cobras recalled fuel critical, valley pocked black from strikes. Harlan's remnants, 12 walking wounded. Ellis medevast femur first, humped exfil under poncho cover. Small footprints mocking boot prints encircling like funeral wreath. Ripcord brass swarmed the pad. Body count? Harlan spat blood-flecked phlegm. 0 skirts, 4 KIA psyched to shit. They're the jungle. ARs filed that week, per Pentagon Papers Quang Tri appendices. Logged inverted hunt, female VC psi multiplier 500%, resupply unsustainable. Lan's cave echoed laughter by false light. Sisters unscathed, manioc steaming. 20 down, 0 up. Bamboo courier outbound, grids relayed, 101st stalled. Months calcified into legend. Harlan rotated stateside shell-shocked. Diary whispers haunting jump school lectures into the 70s. Lan rose cadre chief, her long hair seeding a Shao shadows till 72 pullout, per CIA Phoenix tallies crediting female units with 25% recon kill. Contrast etched eternal. U.S. dropped 7.5 million tons bombs, more than WW2 Pacific, yet lost to bicycles and skirts, per USAF historicals. Brute gods, felled by whisper gods. In war's alchemy, steel forges not from fire's roar, but shadow's patient kiss. The true hunter claims no trophy, only the prey's unraveling soul. And in Ushao's endless green, the green berets learn, when women move through the grass, the hunted stares back from their eyes.